This is MacVoices TV. Hi, I'm Chuck Joyner, and this is MacVoices TV. We're back at the show floor at BlogWorld in Las Vegas, and I am in the Women's Online Media and Education Network booth talking to Pat Lynch. Pat, it's great to have you on MacVoices TV.
Well, thank you. I'm honored.
Pat, I was going by, and of course, the online media network we want to talk about, but, you know, we're Mac people, so we were geeking out a little bit here, and I was especially interested in one of the tools that you're producing, Audio-Acrobat. So let's start with that and ask you to tell us what it is and what it does.
Well, it came out of our need to be able to offer to women in particular, since that was the market we were going for, the ability to produce something that sounded like terrestrial radio, but using online tools from anywhere in the world. And it didn't exist when I began. So we had to wait out the technology, and finally we just designed it ourselves, found some great programming partners, and we produced Audio-Acrobat. And now, because we did it for our own need, now thousands of people around the world are using it for all kinds of reasons. We have a lot of people using it who are trainers and coaches. But then, now we have a lot of people using it because they want to have audio and video in their blogs, and they can easily do that with this tool.
Okay, so what are the logistics of setting this up, and what exactly does it offer?
Well, it's very easy. You simply go to Audio-Acrobat.com. There's a little yellow button that it's very hard to miss. It says free trial. So everyone gets to try this and use it free for 30 days. And that includes taking all the training that we offer for free and all of our support. And then it's very, I mean, if you never took the training, it's still, just click on the tabs and you'll find where to go, so to speak. So if you want to create audio, you click on the audio button and it says create audio, and you click on that and it says, okay, what would you like to do? Do you want to record it directly into the computer? Do you want to record it using a telephone? We have telephony service connected to it, so we give people telephone lines. They can just call a telephone number and they can record their message, or they can upload an existing audio. Now, Audio-Acrobat actually does both audio and video, so the same thing applies for the video. You can record video directly into the computer. You can have it produced outside and then upload it into the system. There are any number of ways that you can get the video, and it takes all kinds of formats too. It doesn't matter whether you're working from a Mac or that other group of people. And it's platform agnostic. It works everywhere, and everything is stored on our large server, so you never have to worry. And we have unlimited storage and 5 gigabytes of throughput, so that's very unusual for anyone to go over that. And if they do, well, it's $1 gig over that. Not too bad. So.
And then after I've got it up there, this is a streaming service. So it's not a download situation.
We use Flash, the Flash streaming mechanism, and so everything that is uploaded is produced in Flash. And basically what that means is it's available to 97-98% of everyone with a computer. It doesn't interfere with any other systems, and when you click, you listen, or if you click, you watch. It's instantaneous with this system. So it's very. Oh, also it has 60, 70 some odd buttons and different styles of video that you can use, and you can customize them. You can make them the color of your site, or you can change the shape. So it's very customizable, so it represents you and your brand.
How about editing? Now, we've talked a lot about recording straight to your site and all, and everything is on your servers. But if we do like we did here, a little pre-interview banter, a little post-interview banter, or somebody sneezes or something, you do have some editing capabilities?
We do not. That's the only thing this does not offer is editing. But of course, there's freeware available, as well as very inexpensive other professional editing software that's available online. So we teach people that these things are available if they need them. Some people use them, some people do not. I use them, but that's the only thing that's not included is the editing software.
So I guess the workflow would be if I record something on your service and somebody sneezed, I need to download the audio or the video file, do the editing, and then re-upload it again.
That's exactly right. You're very fast here.
Well, that's good, because it's I mean, there's a lot to be said for just taking things live as they go, but there's also something to be said for editing, depending on what kind of event or what you're doing. So that makes perfect sense.
I totally agree. Everything we do at Women's Radio is recorded, and we want people to sound really good. So we edit everything that we do, and a lot of our hosts also do that. But you don't have to. But and the other thing that the other reason we needed our own tool is because in radio, you do things in segments, and then you need some way to pull them all together. So at Audio-Acrobat, there's a playlist feature. This is one of the things that certainly makes us different than anyone else who's out there. Not that there's so many, but you can do radio in segments. For instance, let's say you have a standard open and a standard close. Now people are making their blogs, their audio blogs, more professional, and they're doing their own radio programs on their own sites. So this really does allow you to have the sound that sounds just like terrestrial radio. So you can have an open, you can have a little introduction, you can have an advertiser, then you can have an interview or other component, and then you can have a standard close. And by going into the playlist feature, after you've created these different segments, you can choose the order that you want them in, press go, and it pulls it all together. And it sounds like one flawless radio program.
And anyone can do it. Now, you talked about a little bit of a charge for over a certain amount of storage, but how about the price? Because it's a 30-day free trial, but then to use it, you have to pay.
You do. A whopping $19.95 a month. And that's all those things that I told you, all the features, unlimited storage, and 5 gigabytes of throughput on the streaming. So it's it's just easy, really, really good. And it also has, which I really like, a built-in affiliate relationship program. That's not a term everybody understands, but what it means is there's a way, if someone clicks on your affiliate code, for you to receive commissions when they decide to use the service also. And we pay 33% of that monthly fee. And people all around the world, thousands of people are earning hundreds and even thousands of dollars every month.
And that's great. I don't want to create illusions. I always think of those kind of things as the first goal you have is to cover your costs. And at $20 a month, those costs are pretty easy to cover. So it's interesting. You have to charge me to get me in, but if I actually am doing things, I'm going to earn the money right back and more.
And one of the things that a lot of women are learning, of course everybody, is that the new way to make money on the web is to sell products, especially audio and video products. But gee, how do you make that happen? Well, with Audio-Acrobat, you can create this as a downloadable product. And then you can use PayPal, and the nice people from PayPal are here today. And you can use PayPal, and you can affect that transaction in your sleep. And when they pay, then they get you can set up an autoresponder, and they get that downloadable product just like that. And people love this, and it's actually created new businesses for lots and lots of people, especially a lot of the people you might normally think of as the gurus of web marketing. They're using this product, and they're making money using it. So are a lot of people.
Let's talk for a second about the Women's Online Education and Media Network. What is it that you do? And I always ask this question when I talk to an organization like yours. What is it that makes it compelling for you to create something that is targeted primarily or specifically for women in this tech-heavy world?
I grew up in the marketing, media, advertising industry. And even though I had great mentors that taught me a lot about media, I just didn't recognize that women really did not have a voice in the broadcast media. There are, of course, a few people like Diane Sawyer and Oprah Winfrey. There are a few people on radio like Dr. Laura and Dr. Joy Brown. But for the most part, there are very, very few women who have a voice. And early on in radio, they actually banned women from having a voice on radio. They didn't want women's voices on radio. And they didn't treat women very nicely either, even when they came to do normal things like present releases or stories. And still, you'll find very few TV or radio stations that will cover women's events. They'll send their key anchor person, but they won't cover the event. So women's voices were just not getting heard, still are not getting heard. And when I tell people the story about how I started this, I said, well, I had an entrepreneurial seizure. And I think that it's true. You have to be really inspired to go up against such a big brick wall of people who don't want you in. And they didn't want us in up until this year. Now, this year, the National Association of Broadcasters actually asked us to be a media partner. They are they're embracing digital broadcasting at this point. In the meantime, we just move forward, and we move forward against all odds, because internally I feel very strongly that for our whole world to really come into balance, women have got to learn to speak up. So a lot of our effort is in recruiting women and teaching them how to be broadcasters. So that's one reason back to Audio-Acrobat. I needed simple, easy ways to put in their hands to say, you can do this. You can have that bigger voice. And now a lot of what we're doing is right now going back into terrestrial radio and television. People who are learning here are going back and doing a better job or getting other programs in terrestrial radio. So it's really about ultimately giving women a larger voice and creating better balance in the universe. So it's very mission-driven.
That's great. And I find it especially intriguing that you've built your own tools so that you're in complete control of them. You can help women get up and running with whatever kind of projects they want to do within your sphere. It's a complete package.
Well, and there are always new things. Our newest thing is that we plan to start a Latina division. So I'm working on that now. We also plan to have a special division to help women in business grow their businesses nationally and internationally. It's incredibly hard if you're in California to know all the rules and regulations and who you need to talk to in New York and New Jersey unless you have personal contacts. So we want to help women grow their businesses larger, faster, especially internationally. And it is a global market after all. I mean, if you're on the internet, you are global. So you need to know how to take better advantage of it. And that's why we're all here today, is to make those connections, learn about the new, faster, easier ways to use the web. And blogging and podcasting and all the new media are part of that process.
Pat, for the listeners who want to find out more about this and maybe take advantage of your service, the website is?
www.womensradio.com, or if they want to check out the tool, www.audioacrobat.com.
Thank you for taking the time out of a busy blog world to talk to us.
Oh, it's entirely my pleasure. Thank you.
I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoicesTV at BlogWorld in Las Vegas. And I apparently was out of frame. Sorry about that. Thanks for watching. MacVoicesTV is part of the MacVoices Group and a member of Mac Level 10.